Hi, I'm Alex Kelly, and I'm a speech and language therapist, but I'm also the author of the Talk About resources. So, at its simplest level, social skills means being able to communicate effectively with other people. So, it's the skills that we use, the behaviours we use to interact with others. And then it's about using them appropriately so that we are judged to be socially competent. So social skills and social competence are very interlinked. We use our social skills, our behaviours, and we then use them appropriately so that we are seen to be socially competent. But at a more complicated level, we can actually define social skills using seven different components or headings. And the first one is that social skills enable us to achieve our desired outcome. Now, what that means is that our social skills are goal-directed. I use certain behaviours to achieve something. So if I want you to carry on talking to me, I will nod, I will look at you, I will go, So I'm using behaviours to have the goal of you carrying on talking to me. So they're purposeful and they're goal-directed. So that's the first thing about social skills. The second thing we would say to define social skills is that social skills include non-verbal and verbal behaviours. So when we're looking at someone's social skills, we are looking at the behaviours that they are showing, so the skills. And we look at the non-verbal behaviours, which include your body language, so your eye contact, your facial expression, your posture. There are 8 of those. The way you talk, so that's your paralinguistic skills, so that would include volume, intonation, your fluency of speech. And then we look at your verbal behaviours, and those are your conversational skills. So do you start the conversation appropriately? Do you take turns? So when we think about social skills, we think about them in terms of non-verbal and verbal behaviours. They're identifiable units of behaviour. The third thing we would say when defining social skills is that actually social skills are interrelated. So they're often one will impact on another. So the example I gave you a minute ago about listening to you, I'm nodding, I'm smiling, I'm looking at you, I'm going, they're all very interrelated. So even though we may teach social skills individually, so I might teach you the skill of eye contact, it will then actually have a natural impact on other skills that I will teach you later on, like listening, like being relevant. So they're very interrelated. The fourth part of the definition is that actually social skills are learned behaviours. Our social skills are primarily learned when we're growing up, and we learn them through imitation, through reinforcement, through feedback, through lots of different ways. So we learn them through our parents, through our siblings, through our peers, our teachers, and we receive feedback, positive or negative, and then that shapes our social skills, our development of social skills, which is important because it means that if they're learned behaviours, then it means that we can actually teach these behaviours later on in life if children haven't learnt them. So the fifth part of the definition is that social skills should be altered to be appropriate to the situation. So that means we learn social behaviours, but then we learn to adapt them to be appropriate to the situation we're in, to the person we're talking to. So we always need to be aware of how to adapt our behaviours so that we're appropriate to the person we're talking to the situation we're in. Very much linked to the previous point, the sixth heading would be that socially skilled people know when to talk, what to say, and how to say it. And this means that we have to be aware of actually when and how to use our social skills, because often saying the right thing at the wrong time is just as socially unskilled as actually saying the wrong thing in the first place. And the final way in which we define social skills is that socially skilled people read their audience and they shape their responses accordingly. So very much part of being socially skilled is that we adapt our responses according to how the other person is responding to us. So we are looking at them and we are inferring what they might be thinking and what they might be feeling so that we can alter our behaviours accordingly. So we could summarise our definition by saying that a socially skilled person communicates with others using their learned non-verbal and verbal behaviours in a way that is appropriate to the situation and listener, and that is effective in that it has the desired outcome.